Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Medium Difficulty Podcast. We killed Sean off, so it is
he
just me and Andrew. How you doing?
he was a traitor against the Republic. He was an Empire spy.
Uh, yeah, I don't know where Sean is tonight. Hey, he's got a new baby. I understand. Shit's going to come up. So Godspeed to him and all of the poopy diapers. Uh, so, Andrew, since the last time we've done this, you've actually played different games other than Fortnite. I don't know what to do with myself right now. Um,
I've been expanding my
I
horizons.
know you played a game I talked about a little bit last time on this podcast, The Outer Worlds.
Yes.
So you got hooked. What happened?
Um, it brought me. So obviously, it's made by the same people as that made Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and I believe they made New Vegas as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, so it brought me back to like when I first fell in love with Fallout. Um, so I played it, and I'm like, oh my god, this game's gonna be awesome. I just love that like every decision you make affects something else.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you basically control the fate of everything. So if you decide you wanted to, a little bit of a spoiler here, first mission,
Mm-hmm.
um, you decide whether you want to run power back to the town or if you want to run it to the uh, the greenhouse area.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Um,
let's get into that. What choice did you do? What did you do for that?
I ran it back to the town.
So you went back to the town that was like not really enslaving them, but like kind of
Yes,
almost forced labor. Okay. I actually did the opposite. I
you
ran
ran
it
it to
to
the greenhouse.
the greenhouse, and I killed that dude, the head
Okay,
boss. Mhm.
so I unintentionally. So you could have tried to negotiate with the guy,
Mhm.
and I unintentionally by just talking to people didn't get to do that because I made like the other people happy. So after they all agreed to go back except for the leader, I went back there and I was able to negotiate. They got weekends now, so like they didn't work every day.
Oh
They
no!
got weekends and they got higher pay. So I
Nice.
was able to help negotiate that. So um, and then I guess the other question is, what two people did you bring with you on your missions?
Well, I see. I'm still pretty early. Like, I actually
Okay.
didn't do much more. I mean, I still had the girl. Um, I forget her name. It's been a little bit.
Parvati?
Yeah, I had her, and then when we went to the next town, there was a guy waiting at my ship that was
Yeah.
like,
Felix?
yes. So I have him now too, but I haven't played since then. It's been something I want to go back to,
Yeah.
but I got grabbed by other stuff.
So did you talk to like the priest in the
Yes. Hmm.
so he joined my crew
Oh,
after
good.
I've rerouted the power back to them.
Oh,
He
okay.
joined my crew, but I never used him. When I went to the second or third planet, there was a there was like a mercenary lady who had like a machine gun turret,
Hmm.
and I chose her, and then I kept Parvati with me the entire way.
Okay, that's cool.
She
I
was the first one to join me. I felt a sense of loyalty.
Yeah, I went like in an opposite direction because like I felt like everybody was telling me like they were kind of like really telling me to like, oh, make the power go back to the town.
Hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I want to go against the grain on this one. I want
Like I might go play through it again and make opposite decisions of what I made just to
to.
see how else it would have turned out.
Yeah.
I might do something like that. But man, it's 100% one of my favorite games.
Oh, it's really
That
good.
it was awesome, and it made it even better that Xbox had it free on Game Pass.
Yeah,
So,
the Game
um,
Pass is really showing its worth right now.
oh, 100%,
Uh,
100%.
I think I said last time on this podcast, I made my character modeled after Philip J. Fry from Futurama,
Yeah.
and I said I didn't know you could bump down your intelligence to like nothing, so you get dumb responses to people,
All right.
which I wish I would have done like that
Yeah.
would have really fit the character. Um,
See, I made my guy look like the Joker because you could
oh,
put like scars on his cheeks right here. So
okay.
I did the scars and made his face like powdered white, and then gave him green hair, and Yeah, so my guy's name was Joker.
That's
So,
awesome. I I'm not going to spoil right now. Listen later in this podcast. One of the games we're going to talk about, I made my character's hair color green as well too. So
oh,
so
nice.
we've got to figure out what else for the other one. But no, it's just the other games that like that kind of taken up my time on that one, but definitely really want to go back to that. It was really good. Definitely want to play it again before the end of the year because it could be a game of the year like candidate. Like it's
Yeah,
definitely really up there. Um,
yeah, I really enjoyed it.
nice. So if you don't have any other final thoughts on that, one of the other games that came to Game Pass that you said you dabbled in a little, I'm only maybe like 2-3 hours in. It's a short game, but it took my time away from Outer Worlds because of I liked its writing. After Party.
Yes.
So, like, how far did you get in After Party? Like, what did you do?
I didn't get far. I didn't play a lot of it. I so I'm down in hell. I met my demon,
Your first one.
and um I got to the part where they like left for the day.
Okay. Yeah. All right, yeah.
So and then so like you saw like the other guy had to like he got like maggots up his nose or something for the rest of his life
Yeah.
or the rest of eternity. So I saw all that and then I stopped playing right after that.
Yeah, I love that because like the writing in the game is really good.
Yeah.
The reason I stopped playing was because it definitely needed some optimizations when I was doing it. Like it was, I don't know. Did you take any of the like taxi boat rides to the different islands yet in there?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Um, you'll do that, and when you do that, like they have like a little cut screen where they'll talk to each other and stuff like that. And when that was happening, it was really choppy and like my like system fans were kicking up, and I was just like, that
All right.
doesn't. Yeah, I'm like I wanted to just wait a little bit, and it has got a patch now, so
Yeah.
I,
So the only reason I played it was you said about it,
mhm.
and then one of my favorite people of all time is a voice in it. Alana Pierce
Oh, that
is a
okay.
voice. Yeah,
I,
she's like a, judge or something.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard her in it yet. I know the one girl main character is Ashley Birch, and like,
Yeah.
um, but I didn't know I didn't know Alana Pierce was in it too. That's pretty
She's
cool.
in Gears of War too.
I did know that. Yeah, she's
She's like one of the town folks.
okay. Yeah, yeah, I remember hearing her too because I saw it
Hmm.
on like somebody's stream or something like that. But yeah, the other thing that kind of took me out of that one is it's very kind of like a Halloween game, and now that we're past Halloween, I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to go back
Exactly.
to. Uh, all right, moving on from that one, a game you said you were going to be purchasing soon. I just finished it, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yes.
As of right now of this podcast, this is my game of the year.
Really.
Mainly because I have not beat two other games on this list, but they're probably going to beat it. Um, but yeah, this was just like the GameCube game back in the day. Uh, Guigi is an incredible addition to the game. Like usually, I kind of get turned off by Nintendo's little like gimmicks they do to games. Like I always hate it. Like in like Paper Mario, they like made like, oh, now there's stickers, and now there's you're tiny or you have some type of companion. This one actually really works well, and it's nice that they put in like a co-op mode where somebody else can
Yeah.
just jump in and play with you, and it's great. Like,
So I haven't played it yet, obviously,
mm,
but um, I, I've heard all good things about it. But if
yes,
you're saying it's game of the year, and put some lofty expectations on it.
yeah. And the thing is too is like going to another like we're gonna be talking about Pokemon later. They optimize this game so well because every single room you go into it and like everything's interactable. Like you can hit,
Yeah.
like you can blow, like in the physics engine in it, it's fantastic. It's like as far as I can tell, 1080p, 30 frames a second, like rock solid. I had no issues with the game, and it was a decent length too because I played the thing nonstop, and it still took me a couple days to finish it. But cannot recommend it enough, especially if you played the old one on GameCube. Uh, but yeah, we'll talk about that one more once you play. That way we can like.
I plan on playing it at some point in the next couple weeks.
Mhm.
So
And you're gonna be playing it on Switch Lite too, right?
No, I bought another actual Switch.
Another actual Switch. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, the TV is
yeah, because I wanted to be able to play Pokemon on the TV. I wanted to be able to do that. So,
yeah, which is incredible looking on the
hmm
TV too. But we're not quite there yet.
yes.
Uh, all right. This is one I don't know how long we're going to talk about this. I've been playing Death Stranding as well too. Well, as much as I can play of it. Um, it is a very
There's a lot of mixed reviews on this game,
yeah.
so I'm curious to hear what your thought is.
I love a game that is an experience and not necessarily like every other game. Like one of, I think it was,
It's basically your life simulator, though.
yeah, it is. You play as a delivery person, and it's like, okay, go and deliver this package to this camp, this settlement, wherever. And on the way, you find packages that other people just left on the ground, and it's up to you to like deliver them too. Um, and it's one of my nightmares too as a delivery person, where it's like you get more packages out on the road, and you just
Yeah.
don't get to your destination of where you want to go. Like you want to go home, you want to go wherever. And I mean, you don't have to do all that, but it's every time you do a delivery, you do feel good about it. It does kind of unlock a different part of the story. You get to meet different people. Um, and it's not so much like a stealth game or first person shooter. It's an
It's a lot of
experience.
walking, it looks like.
Yes. Yeah. And like, what was the other game that, like a Plague Tale? I played that this year. And that had a little bit of like kind of like shooter elements in it. It was kind of like a walking simulator with stealth in it. That had really good pacing. I thought that had like a really good story throughout. I would definitely recommend that more than this one this right now. But it's a game that requires a lot of time to play. Like it's kind of like how Red Dead Redemption 2 was last year. It's like every time you sit down, you have to have at least like 2 hours to really give to
Yeah.
the game. So, and the story is really interesting. It's really cool. Every time I play it, I kind of learn a little bit more where it's not as completely confusing, but it's still has got a layer of mystery on it that I'm still kind of want to pluck away at and figure out what the heck is going on.
Yeah, I plan on picking it up at some point and trying it out.
Yeah. I heard from some people I've kind of stayed away from a lot of the trailers. So I would recommend doing that too if you're even remotely interested, because apparently they spoil actually stuff in the trailers, which I don't know. All right. Right now at halftime, I'm just going to say we are sponsored by Jim's Repair Service before I forget about it. Um, I'll have his description and info down in the links below. And hopefully, we should be back up on podcast services now. I had a little snafu with Podbean, the guys who um, pretty much save our
Host us.
podcast. Yeah, they put us on their servers and stuff like that. Um, little pissed off at them. I would have ran a little bit. Not that anybody listens to our podcast, but they have a thing where it's I was paying like $10, $15 a month for them to host it. And they have a free service that allows you to put like up to like 5 to 10 hours or something like that a month of free. And we haven't been recording that often. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to bump this down to the free until we start creating more content. Well, they decided if you stop paying for their normal one, you can't bump down to that. It's just all or nothing. So they literally deleted and like canceled our account for a little bit there. But it's all
Oh,
back up now. It's back up and running. So, um, yeah, we'll try to find a different service that I can move everything over to. But we're still on them for now. So, no biggie. All right, done with the rant. Next game. All right. I guess let's go for I guess Jedi Fallen Order.
probably my favorite game right now.
Really?
I think it outshines Pokemon.
You know what? I'm going back and forth on the two. Like I play Star Wars, and then I'm like, all right, I'm kind of getting tired of it. I flip over to Pokemon, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, Pokemon's better. And then I get tired and I flip back, and it's back and forth.
So my thing is, like Star Wars is my favorite thing ever.
Agreed.
I love Star Wars.
Mhm.
Marvel's tied, if not on the same level as Star Wars to me. Um, Battlefront, the first two,
Hmm.
I hated with a passion.
Yeah, disappointing.
Um, so I had extremely high expectations going into this because they knew their entire Star Wars
Hmm.
like reputation was on the line with this,
Yes, yes, it
and
was.
they did not disappoint me so far. Um,
The only
from
criticism, I was get this out of the way now. The
yeah,
only criticism, only complaint I have with the game right now is it needs to be optimized. Like I said with whatever it was earlier, they because there it's. Have you tried playing this on performance mode on your Xbox?
no,
Okay, if you do that, the frame rate is terrible. It's supposed to be like a rock solid 60. It's all
yeah.
over the place. Um, the
the
quality mode's great, but it needs some patchwork.
the only complaint I've had so far was sometimes when you are running around or you jump, you'll just fall off the edge,
Yeah,
and
that is true too.
it's like I'm hitting A and my guy just falls. And that's the only complaint I have, and that's small, but it's
Mhm.
frustrating sometimes, especially when um, the save system in the game, if you lose all your health, you have to go all the way back in some cases, and then you have to go, fight all the stormtroopers and stuff again,
Mhm.
which gets a little frustrating, especially when you're in like caves and in deep missions.
Oh yeah.
Um, so that's my really only complaint. But without spoiling it,
Mhm.
the characters that they bring into the game at some points um,
They are good.
is awesome.
Yeah.
So uh, I would say I'm probably not halfway done
Yeah,
because I've been
I looked at our achievements earlier to kind of compare like where we were
yeah
at. That was just earlier today. I don't know how much you played.
yeah
We both just finished, I think, Kashyyyk last I checked.
yes,
So that's where we're up to right now. Mhm.
but I love it. Um, the uh, the progression on it, like a lot of times when you play on a skill tree,
Mhm.
your skills are you're still able to do a lot of stuff from the beginning,
Yeah.
and then just upgrading is a little bit like, oh okay, I could do this now, oh okay, I could do this game. I feel like skill tree is actually beneficial
Mhm.
because the way my guy was when I first started playing this game versus where he's at now, where he can like grab people with the force and
Oh,
then
you got
like
that? I didn't get
you
that yet.
know
Oh,
um doing stuff like that is like the coolest thing because you'll walk into a room, there'll be like, 6 or 7 stormtroopers all shooting at you,
mhm.
and you can force like one side of the room, go like, nuts on the other side, and then,
Yeah.
go back and fling people around. And
No, it's yeah. They've got that down to like a T. Like it's
it's
really
it's
good.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Respawn does it again. Like they're
Yes.
just
Respawn
incredible.
also, shout out to Titanfall 2, one of the most underrated games of all
Yes.
time.
Yeah, I think it's like $5 on like
Hmm.
any store. Like
It's
go play
free
that
on
now.
Game Pass, I think.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
well worth it. What was that? Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you have a favorite character? And there's only one right answer for this.
I like Grease.
Grease is good. I'm going BD1.
Oh,
BD1
BD1.
is
I like
incredible.
BD1 too.
Yeah, BD1 is the best.
Um, there's also another person I like that just came in on Kashyyyk, so who I liked from the movies.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yes, yes.
and I like him too, so
Yeah.
he's
He,
cool.
yeah, he popped. He real literally like popped in. I was like, "Holy crap, it's
Yeah.
him!" Um,
Which, by the way, driving or
yeah,
mini spoiler,
mini spoiler.
driving the AT-AT
Was it awesome?
was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I will
you know,
give like the Battlefront games like because like I played with the ATATs and like the multiplayers. I'm like, this is awesome. Like it's
mhm.
this is way better. This was like what you dream about as like a kid. Like, oh, it'd be so cool
Yeah,
to do that, and it's just like you thought it would be.
I agree.
Um, what's the other thing I was going to talk about? What do you think of the story so far? Like, was it the
I think the story
second?
is really good.
Yeah.
Um, I like that they chose to do the story right after where episode 3 would be.
Mhm.
Um, so they kind of talk about um, I'm not going to say who talks about it, but they
Mhm.
kind of talk about um, when they were slaughtering all the Jedi's and all the young Padawans.
Mhm.
They kind of go into that a little bit, which is cool.
Mhm.
Um, and it's still really cool that like they're hunting the Jedi's. Like you're still in the process of getting hunted. Like they know they're not all gone.
Yeah.
Um, whereas like by the time you get to like episode 4, like everyone's like, oh crap, like the Jedi's are definitely all gone. Like
Yeah.
so they know there's still some out there, but
Yeah, it's a lot better than I like the story like than I thought it would
mhm.
be because I thought we were gonna kind of go into this and it was going to be kind of like was it Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Wait, was it? No, I'm sorry. What was the PS3 and Xbox 360 one? It was the Force Awakens, right?
Well, that was the movie.
Okay, which one?
What are
What
you
was
talking about?
the games
Oh,
where you were Darth Vader's apprentice?
um,
Force
it's
Un-
called The
Force
Force Unleashed.
Unleashed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
so I thought it was going to be a little more hack and slash, but the Dark Souls elements, like you said, were I kind of like it because it's like the replayability is kind of cool too because it's like, yeah, I can go and rest at this point, but the enemies are going to respawn,
Hmm.
and I gotta, do I want to keep pushing it to get just a little bit further, or do I want to just bank it right now and save it and try to get past these guys a different way? Um, which speaking of which, the one on I think it's on Kashyyyk where they introduce you to the uh, the one stormtrooper with the purple electricity baton thing
Yes,
that he spins around.
the
I
guy's
got a
nuts.
dude. I got a cheap kill on him the first time. I don't know what I did. I did the force push thing,
Yeah, yeah,
and like I don't know what he hit, but he just died instantly. So I was like, oh my god, like I had one slither of health. I was not going to make it. And I was like, I don't know how I did that.
yeah. I'm definitely a fan of the game.
Mhm.
If you guys haven't played it yet, I highly recommend playing it.
Definitely. All right, so going to the other game that we've been going back and forth on. Now, according to Metacritic, uh, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order has an 82 for PS4, 81 for Xbox One, and Pokemon's got an 81. So that's why we're so. I think we're right on it with critics actually this time. With, I mean, agreeing if I maybe give them both a higher score, but you went with Sword version like I did.
Yes,
And Sean, who's not here, went with Shield version because he's an idiot. I don't know. Uh,
and I'm the master of the surprise trade now.
I have been doing that constantly too, and you got me hooked on that. I was like,
I
I
literally sat there on yesterday on Saturday for like 4 hours, literally just standing in the
just
same
going.
spot, surprise trade, and see what I got. And it was worth it because now my team is just completely stacked. Um,
Yeah, I got. I think I don't know if you got it the same way. You said you got all of the starters now. Is that how you got
yes.
them through surprise trade?
Hmm.
Because I did get a Grookey again through surprise trade, but the guy who was doing it, I think mine's like a really high pep stat because he did like Grookey dash pep. So I was like, oh, this guy's awesome. He's going out and he's like, I guess
Yeah, yeah.
doing the EV training or whatever it is to get the best one.
So the only thing, like, um, the only two people that I need to fully upgrade to complete my team is I just got a Ghastly. So once he goes to a
Yeah.
Haunter, I'm gonna need to trade him to either you or Sean to get him to a Gengar and then get him
Mhm.
back, and then same thing with my Machoke. Because my team right now is the 3 starters. Um, I have Machoke and Ghastly in it, and then my 6th one is it looks like a I don't know the name because I'm not good on the new names yet,
Yeah.
but it's like it looks like a butterfly, but it's like a dragon and it's like a dragon and poison Pokemon, and
Huh.
it's a little it's a beast.
Nice.
I like it. I got it. It's like not Goibat or something. I forget what the heck it's called. I'm gonna try and look it up real quick. Um,
But
Go on
yeah,
Sobe.net real quick.
um,
But I think the game is awesome.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, my one thing is I actually was kind of leaning towards Shield a little bit, but then when Sean said he was getting to that one, I totally forgot. But like Tyranitar, Larvitar, that's exclusive to him, and that was the one that actually like killed me. Where I was like, oh crap, I didn't know that. Like I probably would
yeah,
have
yeah,
probably
yeah.
like that one was enough to usually get me over. But Sword though, I really wanted the far fetched evolution that it has exclusive. It's
Like
so
my just from the surprise traits, my Pokédex is like insanely stacked. Just because I get like so many random um, Pokemon in there.
yeah, it was you earlier asking to trade your Machamp over, right? So your
Yeah,
Machoke for
my
a
Machoke.
Machamp.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing is I went online to like because I was painting my dining room at the time, and I was like, oh, let me go on there, and I went to hit like link trade, um, and it'll just connect you to a random person in the world
yeah,
too, which I'm like that's crazy because like what if you don't want to trade? I guess you can back out, but um,
yeah. That's why I enter like a special. You can enter a special like room code.
mhm. Yeah, so we'd have to set that up, which is still pretty cool. Going back to the online features, the online that the wild area, like
Yes, it's
that is
awesome.
it's so cool. It's so close to like an online Pokemon game. Like,
Yeah. And it's
uh,
cool because people will drop items and you can pick them up,
mhm.
and people will have their camps and you can go like play with their Pokemon and stuff.
Yeah, I set up a camp. Nobody came and visited, but I only had it open for like 2 minutes. But I'm like, I wonder how long it would take for to really get people there and like get the experience.
Noibat, it's flying and dragon.
Noibat.
And it evolves at level 48 into a guy that looks like a freaking beast. So I kept him. He's in my thing. I think he's a level 30 for me right now.
That's pretty cool. What is this? Oh, I
But it
didn't.
has dragon, so it's flying and dragon. I always try and keep one dragon Pokemon on me,
Mhm.
just because they're, in my opinion, still very OP.
No, I didn't know this either. I didn't know Sword and Shield had exclusive gyms too.
Oh, no, I didn't
So
know that.
yeah, Sword has Fighting and Rock, while Shield has Ghost and Ice gym
Hmm.
leaders. I didn't know that. Um,
How many badges do you have?
one.
I just got the third.
Just got the. Yeah, so you've
Yeah.
been playing a lot more than me because, like Sean, I have a baby coming and I got to get stuff ready for it. But um,
I was literally I was sitting there all day yesterday just waiting to get my team. And then I just went and started doing everything, and with the
yeah,
XP share now.
that's great too. Uh,
But I haven't really made a lot more progress after that, because then you have to go back to the wild area and go
mhm.
a different way to get to the town after that.
Oh, really?
And all these Pokemon are there. The only thing I'll say about Pokemon that is a downfall. Um, Thanks, Dylan. Thanks for saying I'm cute. And he
He's
said you're
talking about
cute
me.
too. He said
Oh, thank you.
who's the sexy guy in the tiger stripes.
That's me. Call me
But
Tony the Tiger.
when um the only thing that's a downfall is that wild area is awesome, but you have to have a certain amount of badges to catch Pokemon of a certain level.
Yeah.
So I can catch up to 35 now. But it sucks because you'll run into like the big ones that are outside of the area that are
Mhm.
like a little more powered. Like I ran into a Gyarados today.
I
And
did too.
I couldn't
Yeah.
catch him because he's level 50 something.
Yeah, I
And
saw him
I
swimming
guess
in the lake.
that's how they are like stopping you from like catching Pokemon that will put you over. Like,
Hmm.
because the gym is obviously all the battles, like the Pokemon are going to be like level 30, level 35, the next one, and it
Yeah.
progressively goes up. So I guess that's their way of stopping you from
Hmm.
doing that. But still, at the same time, like it took me forever to get a Ghastly because I couldn't find one that was up to level 35. They're all like 36, 37. So by the time I found one, it's like, you know,
Yeah. See, I thought like I've been getting a lot of good vibes with this because like I feel like it's kind of like Gold and Silver the first time because I felt like when Gold and Silver came out, like it kind of reinvented the formula a little bit for Pokemon because it was, two different leagues. They had uh, a time-based scenarios where it was like if you go to this park at this time you can catch this pokemon or compete in this event, and I
Yeah.
thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And I kind of get the same thing from the wilds in this, where I went back today and it was raining and there was a whole bunch of water type and
Mm-hmm.
electric type pokemon to catch, and that Gyarados like just swimming in the lake, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not screwing around with him right now because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's gonna beat my
Yeah, and the
ass.
cool thing is like if you run into one of them,
Mm-hmm.
they will battle you. They won't
Oh
let
yeah.
you run. Like you have to like either find a way, or they have now you can buy like they're called Poké Dolls,
Yeah.
and you can throw it and it'll then you
Uh,
can get away.
Well,
But
that's the thing is the first time I went in there, I saw an Onyx like chilling out, and they said like beware of the big Pokemon. I ran right up to him,
yeah, so
and
did I. So did
yeah,
I, and
he
I
was a
wanted to.
22, and I just barely beat him. But
Yeah,
like as soon as I did, all the experience of all my guys shot up.
yeah,
But then like I had no potions left, no revives, and I had to like beeline it for the town and then come
yeah.
back and kind of do everything. But
Yeah, I did too. I ran right to him. They're like, "Oh, don't run toward this guy." I'm like, "I'm running toward him."
oh yeah, and then the raids are pretty cool too. I
Yes.
want to do that with you and Sean. I think that'll be really cool to do.
Yeah.
Um, and in this, it's they just put it was a Gigamax,
Yeah.
Giant. I don't know what the hell they call it, but they have that on just random Pokemon that I can tell. Like it tells you what the type's going to be, and they show you like the silhouette, like kind of like who's that Pokemon. Um, and then you got to choose your Pokemon accordingly. But uh, I've been doing that, but I think it's just put me with computer players. I don't know if I'm actually
Yeah.
doing that with other online players.
Or no, it has to be all their online players. I don't think it can be computer ones, but I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know how they're doing it.
because either way, on both of them, the outdoorsing and like even the trades, the Nintendo Online service is phenomenal so far. I've had no issues
Yeah, neither
with
have I.
anything internet, which is surprising for Nintendo to say the least.
Yeah, neither have
Um,
I. I haven't had any issues.
let me see. I'm looking at this list of like differences. Legendary Pokemon is just the two on the covers, nobody else. It says, at least according to this article by Tech Radar. Um, what do you think of the Gigamax feature in it? I mean,
I mean, I think it's cheesy, but it is what it is.
Mhm. Um, I still haven't done it with my starter yet. I actually did it with what the heck's the bug? It's like the little charging bug or charging whatever. I used it with
Yeah.
him, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it in the gyms. I just, it is what it is. It's, their gimmick for the generation.
Yeah, but still really cool. All right, you got anything else to add to
The only other
this?
thing I want to talk about is, and I don't know if it's too early, but I would like to talk about the Mandalorian a little bit.
Okay, yeah,
Plus,
yeah, definitely. So we'll do just like give anybody who doesn't want to listen to this, like you got some time to
here,
jump off.
here's your like time to get out if you don't want to know the spoiler from the first episode.
Yeah. So all right, yeah, we'll talk about the first episode. I mean, hell, if you want to tomorrow do it on the second episode, I'm gonna watch it. It's 30 minutes long.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So,
we'll talk about that. So the first episode, go ahead, start us off.
so first off, the opening scene when he walks into like the cantina looking
Yes.
place, and they just look at him and they're trying to start shit with him, and you don't really know what's going on. The guy comes over, is like, I said you spilled my drink, and like pushes him, and then
Yes.
the guy slides the drink toward him, and he basically beats them all with the cup, and then ropes the guy through the door as the door shuts, and
That was
basically
awesome.
slices him in half. Um, that just kind of, for me, that set the tone. I'm like, okay, like
Yeah.
this guy's gonna be like a badass, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then going from there, you had um the Empire,
Mm-hmm.
um that uh
They're like contracting them. Yeah.
based on the timeline, it's after the Empire already fell. So it's right after episode 6 is
Okay.
where is where this takes place.
I
So
keep
it's
getting
in between
confused
6 and
between
7.
this and Fallen
And
Order because I'm
yes,
like,
so it's after episode 6. So the Empire has fallen. So the Empire is kind of all in hiding, the ones that still are alive, and they're
mhm,
trying to figure out like their next move. So basically they contract um, the Mandalorian
yes.
um, to go retrieve what they keep a secret. They won't tell him anything, and he
Hmm.
kind of has to figure it out.
Which was
Um,
just really weird. Like, I mean, they explained itself as you're
yes.
watching it, but I'm like, how does he know who or what to track? And the little tracker,
So
yeah,
originally, I'm like, he's gonna go get Palpatine. Like Palpatine's gonna be alive. I was like, and
mhm.
that's how it's gonna tie in to like the movies going forward because the Emperor's alive in the next one coming out.
Apparently, it's what it looks
Apparently,
like. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
So um, he runs into a bounty droid, which is very cool as well.
Yes, which I thought it was going to be. I'm not like I'm good with Star Wars stuff, but it's like it's IG was it 88 or something like that,
Yeah,
or I know there is like a famous IG. I don't know if that was
yeah,
him, but I mean, straight up, he kills him
yeah, yeah.
eventually.
Eventually, he shoots him
Mhm.
because they discover the bounty,
Yes,
and the bounty is we don't have really a name for it because we don't know much about the species, but everyone's calling him Baby Yoda.
yes.
So,
Which now
um,
I appreciate you haven't spoiled anything for the second episode.
yes.
I had this spoiled for me immediately, and I am beyond
Who
pissed.
spoiled it?
Fucking Google.
Oh my
I
god.
literally, because I was watching the episode, and the guy who plays the Mandalorian,
Yeah,
his
Pedro
voice.
Pascal, or he's the Viper from Game of Thrones.
Oh God, it's listening. Google's listening to me. He's. Um, I looked up. I wanted to IMDb it, but I just typed in Star Wars: The Mandalorian, and I wanted to figure out whose voice it was, and it came up immediately, and it said that, and it said Baby Yoda, and I was like, "What?" And I was like, and then as soon as they get
I'm
there and they're
impressed.
looking at, I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, like just ruined it for me. Um, and
So
now, yeah,
all I'll say, because I already watched the second episode, and now
yeah,
they're coming out every Friday from now
yeah. Which I got to
on.
get my time right because I thought
So
it came out today.
um, every Friday now, except for the week that Star Wars, the next episode comes out. It skips
Just,
that week, and then the last episode is the week after.
and we will be there for that
Yes, we'll be
for
there
the
opening night.
podcast. Yeah.
Um, so all I'll say is, um, I love this show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy that they did it. I'm I would pay Disney. I would pay twice the price of Disney Plus just for this show as of right now, and
Mm-hmm.
that's not including the Marvel shows that are coming out soon as well.
Yeah.
Um, and if anything happens to Baby Yoda, um,
You're gonna be devastated.
I'm gonna cry. Um, when you see the second episode, you'll
Yeah.
hopefully agree with me.
I will watch it tonight, and yeah, I'm very excited. I'm gonna
But
probably watch
they're
that and then go right into some Star Wars.
they put a lot of they put a lot of nostalgia in some of the in the second episode. There's some like you're
Oh,
like,
nice,
oh crap, I haven't seen this in so long. Like
nice.
so, it's very very good.
Now I don't spoil. Well, I mean, it doesn't really big a deal. But the first episode, you don't see the Mandalorian's face at all. Like they keep him completely hidden. Like you don't know. You're not supposed to know what he looks like. Um,
Well, that's the whole thing with the men. They're not supposed to take
they're not
off their
supposed to.
helmets.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, because I mean, I know it's going to be phenomenal, but like, I'm going to be really surprised to see how they keep developing this character without like any facial expressions or anything like that.
Yeah,
But it's phenomenal so far. Like, it's definitely worth the price of Disney Plus. And
that's part of the reason I think they put Baby Yoda in it. 'Cause I think they're gonna show expression based off of his interaction with Baby Yoda.
Nice.
I don't think there's gonna be like him showing expression. It's gonna be his either frustration or happy, sad through Baby Yoda.
Which Baby Yoda is 50 years old too, by the
Yes,
way. So he's not really old.
yes.
I mean, kind of his baby, but
He's baby in his species.
yeah.
That's a baby still in the species. So,
Mhm. How old was? Did they ever say like how old actual Yoda was when he died?
they did, but I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah.
Let me
I'm
see.
getting an
Yoda.
idea right now too that maybe we should do just a Disney Plus podcast like every week.
So Yoda died at the age of 900.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So, yeah,
So this baby Yoda that's now here is still 100% could still be alive by this last episode coming out now.
yeah.
Um,
So
because let's see, uh, time between episode 6 and 7, it was 30 years. So 30 years. So this it's basically so Yoda, baby Yoda would be 80.
which could be like a toddler still,
Yeah,
so it may not
at
really
this
affect
at the
much.
start of episode 7, and then um yeah. So
It's definitely really interesting. Maybe because like you're like I said, I think we should
and
do.
episode 7 and 8, that it was immediately after. There's no time jump between the two. So
Nice. And let's see, when do we have a? Is it episode 9? Is it was it like December 19th or something like that? What the heck is it? November? When
what?
is when is
Today's November 17th.
no, when does the episode 9 come out? What's the date for that one?
December 19th.
The 19th, yeah. And where are
Or
we?
December 20th, technically,
20th,
but
but yeah,
the
we're going
19th
to
is Thursday. This
yeah.
Thursday.
And then
Let me see. Hold on. I'll tell you the episode order in a second. So, let's see. So, episode 1 was Tuesday when Disney launched. Episode 2 was this Friday. 3 is next Friday. 4 is the Friday after that. 5's Friday, December 6th. Episode 6 is the 13th. Episode 7 is Wednesday, the 18th. So, it comes out the day before the new movie.
Oh, okay.
And then they go a whole week and a couple days, and the last episode 8 of the series is Friday, December 27th.
Nice.
So they release it. They're releasing it the day before, so that makes me wonder if there has to be something that ties in. There's no way they'd release it early.
Yeah, it's probably a spoiler for something.
Yeah.
So speaking of, I'm going to go back to Fallen Order right now because you sprung something else in my brain. I've never watched Star Wars Rebels, but I know the characters.
I just started watching it.
Now the that big purple dude who's your like Jedi master or whatever, is that the same guy from Rebels? I don't know. Like because
I don't believe so.
Okay, because I know it's the same race, but I was just like, oh, is that supposed to be that guy from Rebels or something?
So, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious.
I'm like 4 episodes into Rebels, so I'm just starting.
Yeah, I'm going to start that too.
Which Rebels is actually very good.
I have most of the Rebels as Disney Infinity people.
Which Rebels takes place right before Rogue One took place, which is
between
3 and 4, like literally right after or right before episode 4 starts. So,
okay. All right. So yeah, it's probably not him, or actually, no, it could be.
So I have a chart in front of me. So what?
No,
in the timeline of TV shows, not including the games, it's episode 1, 2, and 3, and then in between 2 and 3 was the Clone Wars series. And then after 3, in immediate order, you have the Obi-Wan Kenobi series that's not out yet.
Yeah.
At the same time as Solo.
Yes.
And then after that, you have the untitled Cassian Andor series coming. At the same time as Rebels, They both
Okay.
take place at the same time, and then it's Rogue One, and then 4, 5, 6, and then The Mandalorian, and then Force Awakens, Last
Oh,
Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, and then in between set 8 and 9, you have or between 7 and 9 is Star Wars Resistance,
okay.
um,
I know. Yeah.
and then Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is in between 8 and 9.
God damn. I got to catch all this on Disney Plus.
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of stuff.
You're not kidding. I think we're gonna have to make this like its own podcast going forward, where
Yes,
like just the Star
the
Wars, like,
Mandalorian review.
yeah, and whatever else like Disney decides to come out with, because it's gonna be
Yes.
like
Oh,
it's almost like
100%.
comic. It's like comic books now. It's just like
Yes.
there's a new one all the time. All
But I
right.
think I think that's it. I don't think we have much else to hit on.
Yeah, definitely. Next week we should have Sean on. We'll make sure he watches The
Yes.
Mandalorian, and we're gonna go a lot more into Pokemon. Um, I
Yes.
was talking to Sean about it too. I think like maybe next one we should do a live battle or something like that,
That would be cool.
like a 3-way. Maybe we'll do the raid together, like live on stream or something like that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Mhm. All right, guys, I'm going to stop the podcast right now. For the rest of you, I don't know how much longer Andrew will be streaming on twitch.tv/Spidestags. But until next time, we love you.